Really, very happy to be here, and thank you very much for having me sitting down and spending a day with you today.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just like to sit down and talk to you today. Is about your profession or your passion as a hotel man. People knows you as a condo man
That's
recently,
right. Yes,
but you were born
yes.
from the hospitality business,
That's right.
right? Because I remember it very well because I live across the road from the Nova Lodge. It was Nipa Lodge before when you actually came down and thank you and took over the hotel. So we'll have a lot to talk about that as well today.
I think, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, that was the same year you opened Pattaya Mill, 94.
Correct. We opened in 1993. That's when you took over the hotel, and then
That's right.
you
So
started.
we sort of started in the same time, more or less. You know, you started your newspaper. I started my first hotel, which was the Nova Lodge Hotel. After 9 years in London, I had an accident. And basically I had about 35 stitches in my head, and it was all bruised up, and it was very cold. So I went to see a doctor with headaches, and he said, you've got to put a hat on all the time because obviously you're swelling.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, it doesn't. Then I said, okay, I will go to a hot country.
Right.
And I moved to Los Angeles for 6 months. I actually liked Los Angeles, but again, it wasn't 100% right. And I wanted to go back to London, and I bought a ticket from Asia. You know, when I was young, I loved Bruce Lee and, you know, all these kung fu movies, karate movies, and Asia fascinated me. And it wasn't supposed to be a permanent thing, just a holiday.
Yeah.
But when I came here, there was no going back, you know. It was just, the whole of Asia. Thailand just happened to be the most affordable place for me at that time. And that was it. I'm still here 26 years later.
Right.
So
Until you
early 86, first time as a holiday. And then did all of Asia, not just Thailand. And then went back to England and decided 3 months later that I would like to try Thailand. And still here.
And that was the beginning of your kind of a fulfilling your dreams one more time by running a hotel. But actually you own the hotel and then you run the hotel your way.
No, it didn't really start like that. What happened was when I first came here, I had jobs. I was managing a few hotels, one in Bangkok, one in Pattaya. The Pattaya one was Weekend Hotel up in second row near Big C in North Pattaya.
It's still there. Yeah.
It's still there. They've changed the name, I believe, to Sabai Resort or something.
Yeah.
And in Bangkok, in Soinaret, near Suriwong, a hotel there called Welcome Plaza.
Right.
And at that time, I decided why not try and be an agent selling hotels. And I was very lucky because I had good contacts with a lot of people and managed to do a couple of deals and got the money to rent Nipa Lodge, which I turned it into Nova Lodge. Yes, but you know, I had no dreams and no expectations to become what I've become, and you know, I thank God and you know, every day, and you know, for the luck I had, and I think you know, it's time to give back, and we are trying to do that as well.
Oh, that's great. That was in 1994 when you took over the Nipa Lodge and changed to Nova Lodge.
Right.
This is where the word Nova comes in. What does the word Nova mean?
I've said it many times. Nova was on a motorbike. Honda Nova.
Honda Nova, yeah.
When I checked what it means new star, right? Or a star in Spanish, right? And I thought, well, you know, it sounds a good name. And then we started with a yellow logo to begin with. And later on, we went into the red sun to reflect Asia. But when we started, it was just a cheap logo, but it was Nova Lodge.
Yeah. You took it over from the company, which is now the Amari or the Onyx, right? But at that time, you took over, and then you run it yourself.
Correct.
And then now you're using the Amari brand again to run other hotels of yours.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that one later.
Okay.
But let's talk about Nova Lodge, because we have a lot of memories and histories about the hotel itself. It was actually one of the first hotel in Pattaya built by Russian.
Yes.
Believe it or not.
The first one.
The first one.
I believe it was the first one in Pattaya, yes.
And then the Russian didn't keep it. The Russian investors or the businessman who built the hotel didn't keep it that long, and they sold it to the Amari, the Siam Hotel Group, not the Siam, that's
Siam
current
Lodge.
Siam Lodge Hotel
They
Group,
call
yeah, which is
themselves, and well, I mean, when I took over the hotel, it was an old, rundown property, but the best location in town.
exactly,
And
yeah.
I was just amazed how the regular customers that Amari had were satisfied with the brand Amari, and it was more than just a hotel management company. And you know, when I got lucky enough to own more than one hotel, I don't want to manage them myself. I want to be free to do other things, and my first choice was Amari. And we are now 3 hotels running under the Amari brand, and we have a 4th hotel under construction. And I'm very happy, and they're doing a great job for me.
Right. So if you may, I just like to jump over that conversation a bit. Amari, and then the relationship with the Centara,
Right.
and now with the IHG by bringing the Holiday Inn Express brand.
Right.
So now you're actually dealing with 3 management companies.
3 now, and hopefully we are dealing with a 5-star. I cannot say the name, but we are in negotiations for a new
Okay.
piece of land we bought. Yeah, so
Hmm.
there's no limit. I mean, we have different
Yeah.
projects and different needs. Yeah,
Hmm.
but yes.
Back to Nova Lodge. Zeppelin was one of the most popular German restaurants in town at that
Right.
time.
Yes.
Of course, there were times when it was not a good time, but then it suffered, and then it did well, and then it was a very successful restaurant until you had to give it up, and of course, give up the whole property. Are you planning to do another German restaurant again soon?
No.
No.
No, I think I have, as you know, entertainment, restaurant business, a few things, the Irish pub, Jameson's, I have a Chinese restaurant in Bangkok,
Yeah.
Ice Bar, but it's not my cup of tea. It's more for the PR side of the Nova Group. Not to make money. I don't think there's a competitive market out there to do a good restaurant unless you go something like Mantra or Over the Top, which, we are not really into. We're
You did try it. You had Alchemy for a while.
We did try, and Alchemy was tough, but it actually did all right. But we decided that wasn't the aim at all, and we just moved away from it.
So you switch very quickly. You don't really waste time trying to push it hard and trying to promote the place.
Yeah, if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. So what's the point?
Yeah.
So,
at the same time, you had Big Ben as well for a short period.
but actually, Zeppelin and Big Ben did very well when we first started. I remember the first couple of seasons with the Russians, and they just started to come. And Pattaya was probably 70% of what's there now was not there.
Right.
Zeppelin was one of the first restaurants that the Russians really took into. And it was packed, and Big Ben was packed, and it was good times. And when things slowed down, we decided that that's not our business.
So that was probably the kind of the closing or the end of the Nova Lodge era. 16 years in business.
Yes.
You still staying in touch with any of your teams since that time, or any of your teams moved to your new properties?
Yes, we stay in touch. No, nobody moved. Actually, my sales manager, her name is Jess, she was my right-hand man, or right-hand lady, actually, for 16 years. And she took over the lease with some of her friends, and she's running the hotel now. And first, I'm very happy for her, and second, but I had no interest to keep on because we've moved into 4- and 5-star hotels, modern hotels. And
Right.
because the lease term was too short, we couldn't really renovate and do a nice job of it. So I decided rather than drag the name Nova down, it's better to pull out. And because, today on the internet, you go into all of these reviews, and Nova is Nova, and they kick it, and they don't know which one is which, so we got a lot of problems stick because of Nova Lodge, so we decided to pull out.
Okay.
And I'm happy I did. That's where I started. I emotionally, I'm very attached to the property, but it's time to move on.
You still go back sometimes? Have a look at the old trees?
You know, it's very strange. I left 2.5 years ago.
You know.
I've never ever been back. I meet Jess sometimes for a cup of coffee outside or take her out for lunch or dinner in Bangkok, but never been back. And I think that I've never been back because it will hurt me too much, you know. But I had to make a business decision. So if I followed my heart, I would still be there.
Great, great. So, and then you, of course, moved into one of the first apartment or the service apartment, and you call it executive service apartment,
Right.
Nova Park.
Correct. Yeah.
So from the hotel, the 100% of the PO hotel, now you're into a kind of a longer retention of the customers staying at your place, focusing on the residents, expats as well. Of course, but of course you still have the plans to build hotels. But at that time, you kind of hold back a bit, and then you do the executive service apartment, waiting it to be kind of another landmark until you build and then create
Well,
another.
no, at that time we didn't have plans. Everything that comes today to today, you know.
Uh-huh.
At that time, I was fortunate during the crisis of '97. Thailand suffered. I did very well because my rent was in Thai baht, and we managed to double the rate because of the dollar fluctuation
Right.
that almost doubled.
Uh-huh.
So we did well, and there were a lot of people